Welcome back to the Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here today because we're hopping on what I like to call the expression escalator. We're going to completely transform the way you communicate, taking things right from your basic, everyday understanding and riding it all the way up to some seriously colorful, precise fluency. We all rely on words every single day, but having the exact right word at the exact right moment, well, that is an absolute superpower. And today, we're going to build that superpower using some incredible insights directly from our source analysis. So, here's our roadmap for today. First, mastering core vocabulary. Then, the efficiency of substitutes. Third, action-packed phrasal verbs. And finally, we'll wrap up with the idioms of arrogance. Okay, let's dive right into this first one. Section 1, Mastering Core Vocabulary. Now, mastering your core vocabulary is really about grabbing those broad, powerful words that describe intense emotions and behaviors. It's literally the foundation of any good story. Let's start with a classic character flaw we've all run into: deception. The word here is feign, basically to pretend or fake something. Imagine someone putting on a completely false persona, right? Feigning an emotion or an intention they absolutely do not feel. It is the very bedrock of trickery. Which leads us perfectly to our next word, hoodwink. If someone is feigning their intentions, well, their end game is usually to hoodwink you, to deceive or trick you. Honestly, have you ever been on the receiving end of that, being completely fooled? Hoodwink is just such a vivid, almost theatrical word for that exact feeling. So, what kind of person usually tries to hoodwink us? Often, it's someone who is haughty, arrogant, overly proud. The kind of person who really thinks they're the smartest one in the room. I want you to mentally pin this word to the wall for a second, because we're planting a seed here. This whole theme of arrogance, it's going to build and build until we hit a massive payoff at the end of the explainer. But beyond those three, our source gives us an absolute treasure trove of impactful words. Just look at the sheer breadth here. You've got cogent for something flawlessly logical, inimical for something harmful, laconic for when you're using very few words. And then you hit the emotional extremes. Fury for intense anger, squandering for reckless wasting, intemperate for a total lack of self-control, and of course, magnificent for something truly grand. These are the exact tools you need to paint with bold, emotional colors. Moving right along up the escalator to Section 2, the efficiency of substitutes. Think about it. Why use 10 words when one perfect word does the exact same job? One-word substitutes are basically the ultimate efficiency hack for the English language. On the left, look at this long, super clunky phrase, a person belonging to another country. 7 words. But on the right, we instantly collapse the whole shebang into a highly precise 5-letter word, alien. It's crisp, it's clean, and it cuts right to the chase. And seeing it in context really proves the point. Imagine a serious news anchor delivering this line. The law applies equally to citizens and aliens residing in the nation. See, it sounds incredibly authoritative and precise, all thanks to that one efficient substitute. Let's flip the script a bit and contrast those negative words from earlier with something genuinely uplifting. Instead of dragging out the phrase, a person who helps others selflessly, we can just drop the word altruist. Boom! It perfectly captures those amazing, highly positive human traits in just a couple of syllables. If you were reading this like an inspiring front-page headline, it'd be, "The doctor is known as an altruist for providing free treatment to the poor." It packs this massive emotional punch without wasting a single breath. When you step back and categorize these efficient substitutes together, their power is just undeniable. Alongside alien and altruist, our source analysis also highlights words like aesthetic, meaning concerned with beauty, and agenda, a list of items to discuss. Grouping these words together like this, it's a total game changer for actually remembering and applying them in everyday life. Okay, let's move to and see how this builds. Section 3, action-packed phrasal verbs. If our last stop was about swapping out nouns, this one is all about the literal mechanics of action. It's when a verb pairs up with a preposition to make a completely new dynamic meaning. Notice a clear pattern with the phrasal verbs here. They're all orbiting around the concepts of giving and getting. Things like give back, get up, give away, and get through. These are literally the everyday engines of English conversation. Let's zoom in on give away. This means to give something without asking for anything in exchange. I absolutely love this one because it's such a great contrast to that selfish, haughty behavior we touched on earlier. Actually, it aligns perfectly with the altruist we just learned about. And you can practically feel the action in the example sentence. Why did Nancy give all of her furniture away? You'd say that with genuine, almost shocked curiosity, right? It wasn't just a simple transfer. She literally gave away everything she owned. Shifting gears a bit, let's check out get up. Now, this describes a super specific physical action, causing someone to rise from sitting or lying down. It's a mechanical motion every single one of us experiences daily. And the example for this is just so wonderfully visual. Ahmad got Abdul up at 5:30 in the morning by turning the music up really loud. The fast pace, that disruptive energy, it's perfectly captured by slamming get and up together. It's an unavoidable physical command to move. All right, here we are. Section 4, the idioms of arrogance. We have officially hit the climax of our expression escalator. We've climbed from core definitions to quick substitutes, through action verbs, and now the colorful, figurative world of idioms. And this is exactly where we pay off that running theme of arrogance we seeded back at the beginning. What's wild here is the pure concentration of attitude. All 5 of these idioms revolve around the exact same behavioral trait, an inflated sense of self. They're basically incredibly descriptive metaphors for superiority. Just look at this rapid-fire list. The abundance of ways English lets us describe a haughty person is crazy. You can be big-headed, high and mighty. You can put on airs, be puffed up, or just plain snooty. Every single one of these phrases acts like a little verbal dart aimed right at an inflated ego. The absolute crucial point here is that they all share one unified definition: to act as if you're more important, superior, or just flat out better than everyone else. Whether someone is literally acting high and mighty or walking around puffed up like a bird, these idioms paint a remarkably vivid, cohesive picture of a very specific and, let's be honest, annoying personality type. So as we step off the expression escalator today, I've got a question for you to really think about. Have you ever been hoodwinked by someone who puts on airs or had to deal with a really haughty, snooty person? I challenge you to take this precise, colorful vocabulary and apply it to your own life this week. Seriously, it's a total game changer for how you tell your stories. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep learning.